The state playoffs commence for most of the programs, and so find out how the tennis, baseball, and the volleyball teams did, and how the rest of the program fared on this week's State of the Marauders podcast.
The drive, high arcing floater too strong. Rebound tapped around. The three to win the game. No good. And Prep survived. The Marauders have won their first sectional championship since 2014.
Wow, unbelievable turnover.
Jude Sargent.
Here's Jude with 9, with 8, with 7. Sargent scores! Jude Sargent delivers with 5.9 left to go. What a turn of events, and the Marauders regain the lead, 8-7.
And there's Tyler Bell. A double pass. Wide open. Caught. Touchdown.
Welcome everyone to episode number 115. We're sponsored always by our good friends at D1 Media Pro. They're on live stream in the state of New Jersey for high school sports. In this week's episode, we're going to break down everything that happened for your St. Peter's Prep Marauders. And we're going to break down who would win this week's Marauder Player of the Week award and reveal the candidates for next week's award. Again, we're approaching the end of the season, which means stay tuned as well for the next couple weeks or so to see when we will have the Marauder Award Show, the State of the Marauders Award Show. Again, that's our annual end of year episode. So stay tuned to see when that will be revealed. That'll most likely be sometime in June. We can always be found on any listed devices on Apple, on Spotify, on Anchor, you name it. We are there. So be sure to search State of Marauders or follow us on our social media profile at SOT Marauders to see all of our exclusive Marauder content. As always, I am Renato Rodriguez of the class of 2010. And ladies and gentlemen, we have, again, a lot to talk about. So let's start off, as always, with our news of the week. On this week's news, again, you gotta make sure, ladies and gentlemen, you gotta download the State of the Marauders app, because you're gonna have everything you need with one app, including athletic links, live streams, schedules, texting service form. Again, we're going to open that up for next year as well once the season ends. So stay tuned for that. Play of the week voting and much, much more. So make sure you download the app today. Also, make sure you like and subscribe us on YouTube at SOTM Network to get all the highlights and this podcast in video form for your St. Peter's Prep Marauders. So make sure you like and subscribe us on YouTube today. We have the highlights from the baseball games this week. And we also have highlights throughout the year as well. So if you want to go back and check some of those highlights from early in the year, make sure you like and subscribe us today. St. Peter's Prep Hockey, again, they're still looking for assistant coaches, ladies and gentlemen. Head coach Brendan Roche still looking for some coaches, all right? They want some previous and current youth hockey experience. All right. So make sure, once again, if you're interested in becoming an assistant coach for the St. Peter's Prep hockey team, that you reach out to head coach Brendan Roche by going on his social media page, which is at SPP Marauder Hockey, or email him at rocheb@spprep.org for that information. Also, ladies and gentlemen, for the week for your Marauders. We also want to talk about some summer camps. A lot of summer camps are happening around our Marauders, including, the baseball program. Again, they're going to have dates at the end of June and the end of July. You're also going to have summer camp for lacrosse, which is going to be going on from June 26th to the 29th. Against the baseball, we'll have the camp June 26th, June 29th, July 31st, August 3rd. Lacrosse team, June 26th to June 29th, from 9 to 12 at JFK Field. All right. Other camps include the hockey camp, the football camp, and the basketball camp. All right, for your incoming Marauders. If you're interested in joining St. Peter's Prep Athletics, I mean, you got like basketball, 3rd to 9th grade. You don't have to be like interested right away, but when you get your child involved in some St. Peter's Prep Athletic program this summer, all right, there's a lot going on in Grand Warren, so make sure to click the link that is on our app at SOTM Marauders. All right, I have all the registration information for all sports that have camps this summer. So make sure you check out that app. All right, check out the link and see which ones you're gonna be interested in. Again, all the coaches here do a fantastic job for our Marauders. You also got some soccer camps as they're gonna get ready for the fall season as well. So make sure you check out the camps link on the app. All right, check it out for all the latest information with the St. Peter's Prep Athletic summer camps. So, in other news, tennis team would take on Seton Hall Prep. And yes, I know we mentioned this last week. They were projected by the NJSA to play against Oratory, but when the brackets officially came out, there's a little bit of a switch, a little bit of snafu with the update. So when the bracket came out, the tennis Marauders were actually the 9th seed, right? Not this 8th seed, not 7th seed, but the 9th seed. And they were on the road, and they faced off against Seton Hall. Who they played? Yes, they played against Seton Hall earlier in the year. They would lose 4-1 in that matchup earlier, but then they would take them on in the first round state playoff matchup. And unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, they would go down 3-2 in the NJSIA non-public North bracket. At first singles, Yash Kano would lose 6-1, 6-2. At second singles, Agusha Harsh would win 6-0, 6-1. At third singles, Lucas McKenzie would win 3-6, 6-4, 11-9. So that's a best of 3 there. But then the doubles were struggle. Gene O'Kyle would lose 6-0, 6-1. And at second doubles, Jeremy Cambridge Jack Brousseau would lose 6-4, 6-4. So the tennis team overall would end the year at 12-3. So that's a good record. Good record in the year. Clap it up. Tennis. The good news, ladies and gentlemen, there are no seniors on the team this year. All right. So they're going to be back defending the Hudson County title, 2-time defending champion, to bring all the team back next year. And Yash kind of could still participate in the singles bracket. Yes, we're going to wait until that comes out. I think that first round starts on June 10th, so we'll keep you updated with that information. So we still have Yash kind of potentially could still represent Prep in the singles tournament. So stay tuned for that. But again, great show from tennis this year. Round of applause once again for our tennis Marauders. So, in other news, the baseball team would take on the state tournament, and boy, did they start off on the right foot. They took on Dwight Englewood in the first round of the NJSIA tournament. Adrian Rojas on the bump for the Marauders. So let's turn it over to our commentary guys from D1 Media Pro. Okay, the one, the only, Kevin Conley, alongside myself, Fernando Rodriguez, for the highlights of this first round matchup against Dwight Englewood. So, gentlemen, let's take it away.
In-game
Alba squares pull back. Too far off first. Got him picked off. Camilleri puts the tag on.
Wow.
Outstanding play by Justin Navarro behind the dish.
So rest could be a factor as well.
3-2, cut on and miss, strike three. Pair of strikeouts in the first inning from Adrian Rojas. 1-2, waved at and missed, strikeout number 3 for Adrian Rojas, and there's 2 gone in the second. Infield single, which could have been an out, and there's the 6th strikeout for Adrian Rojas. He's mowing through this Bulldog order.
Yeah, Adrian Rojas is locked in right now, Kevin.
Breaking ball, cut on and missed. Big first strikeout for Adrian Rojas.
Oh, he asked and the doctor delivered. Big strikeout there by Rojas. Now you can play the infield back. Try to get double play. Try to get out of this inning.
That one chopped. This could be 2. Ruiz flipped to second for 1. On to first, double play. Just what Prep needed to get out of the threat. Duarte leads off second. 1-1 pitch hit in the air. Left field in deep. Going back. Katznick. He's looking up. It's gone. Matt Corwin. A home run for Prep. A 3-run shot out to left. And the Marauders have taken a 3-2 lead.
Wow, what a home run by Matt Corwin. You talk about the short dimensions. That ball was smoked and got out of here in a hurry. And just like that, the Marauders, we take the
change. Massimo Infante Meehan's at third. Ryan Michele's in right. And back to the dugout goes Michael Meese on the 8th strikeout of the game from Adrian Rojas. Barber has now gone back to the dugout. There goes the runner from first. They got him.
Wow.
Bowie just took off from first base. He's thrown out, and there's 2 gone. Payoff pitch, cut on and miss. Strikeout number 10 for Adrian Rojas. And there's 1 gone here in the 6th. Rojas looking for that 11th strikeout. He'll wind and fire on the 1-2. Cut on and miss, strike 3.
Wow.
11 strikeouts through 6 innings for Adrian Rojas. 0-2. That one looped in the air, center field. Corwin coming on, not going to be able to get there. He'll barehand to cut it off. Heading for second is Kim. The throw in, plenty of time. Oh, Matt Corwin, a bullet from center field. And the leadoff man's retired. Rojas comes set, 1-2 pitch. Upstairs, check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did,
Wow.
says our first base umpire. 12th strikeout for Adrian Rojas. 1-2 pitch is chopped on the ground to second. Ruiz, a perfect hop. Throw over to first. Ball game over. A comeback victory for St. Peter's Prep against Dwight Englewood. They win 3-2 behind outstanding pitching from Adrian Rojas. And Renato, their senior captain, Matt Corwin, leads the way.
I mean, Matt Corwin, Adrian Rojas, combination effort here today. And Matt Corwin, he did on the mat against Bayonne, and now he does it with the bat against Dwight Englewood to advance them to the NJSA non-public 8 North quarterfinal.
I mean, what an impressive game by Adrian Rojas going toe-to-toe with one of the top juniors in the state, Weiss Bowie. I mean, he absolutely pitched the gems. Complete game, 12 strikeouts, only allowing 2 runs on 5 hits. I mean, Weiss Bowie was dealing with a little bit of sickness in that game. He had to come out in the 7th inning because of that sickness. But, I mean, Weiss Bowie also dominated this Marauder team, too, with 12 strikeouts as well. I mean, he was absolutely filthy all game long for Dwight Englewood. But, man, the combination Adrian Rojas, Matt Corwin. Matt Corwin's blast. That was a huge homer. Morris couldn't get anything offensively before that homer. I mean, that combination won the Marauders the game. Plain and simple. I mean, no other words to describe that. You had Lorenzo Cameron getting a hit, Nico Duarte got a hit, Sam Porch and Justin Navarro with hits as well. But those 2 guys were the reason why the Marauders were able to advance to the NJSA quarterfinals, in which they would take on Bergen Catholic. Again, that was another tough contest. Adrian Rojas had a pinch hit RBI triple in the late stages of that one in the 6th. Lorenzo Caramelli had a triple that couldn't score on. Nico Duarte, Matt Corwin had hits as well. But Bergen Catholic's overall team was just dominant. I mean, their base paths were tremendous. They were stealing over this Marauder team all day long. Matt Corwin, he tried to replicate what he did against Bayonne, but he just could not do so. Bergen had some timely hits against him. 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 5 runs, 4 Ks in that one. Ray Stein pitched a scoreless 6. But it was just too much for the Marauders. They end their season 17-11. Again, Hudson County champions for the 2nd consecutive year as well. So I want to thank all the seniors on the team. for their tremendous contribution to the program, including Isaiah Ruiz, Trey Barksdale, Max Kirk, Elliot Jablonski, Frank Liggio, Liam Hester, Sam Porch, Nico Duarte, Massimo Infante Meehan, Jalen Maharaja, Matt Kinsler, and Mason Fisher. Again, thank you all for your contributions to the program, and good luck to all of your future endeavors. So, the lacrosse team, they were off this week. Some of these teams competed in the first round of the NJSIAA state tournament play, but the Marauders, no sir, no action for this Marauder team. They're gonna take on St. Joe's Regional, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, St. Joe's is one of the top teams in the state of New Jersey. Okay, probably easily in the top 20. So it's gonna be a tough matchup for the Marauders. But the last time these two teams played each other, we gotta go all the way back to, I believe, 2016, according to Edge.com, in which the Marauders were able to beat St. Joe's. So could history be on their side? Maybe we're gonna have to find that out. But we're gonna take a look in just a second here, okay, with the bracketology of how non-public A is going to turn out, because this is the only bracket essentially left for any of them rush. We're gonna talk about the rest of the program as we move on, but everyone else is pretty much eliminated. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's done. So let's take a look at bracketology here from the NJSIA. See the whole bracket clearly. So we have St. Joe's taking on St. Peter's Prep in the 7-10 matchup. Pope John taking on Notre Dame in the 6-11 matchup. The winner of the Prep St. Joe's matchup would take on the winner of the Barton and Donovan Catholic. And then whoever wins the Pope John and the Notre Dame matchup take on either Paul VI or Don Bosco Prep in the quarterfinals. So it's going to be some tough sledding for the Marauders, but they're going to have to get to St. Joe's first. Yeah, that's going to be Tuesday. That's going to be a 4:30 start. And it's going to be on DOM Media Pro. Well, yes, we got permission. I want to thank the athletic director at St. Joe's Regional for allowing us to stream that game. So it's going to be Tuesday, 4:30 on D1 Media Pro. I'll be on the call. Jack Stalkneck will be on color. Ty Flat on camera duty. So tune in, support your Marauders. So this one should be an exciting one from Montville. And we'll see. Can the Marauders pull off the upset in the 7-10 matchup? They take on St. Joe's on Tuesday? We're going to find out. And again, since there is no lacrosse action to deal with this week, no Ignacio Maro, no State of Marauders hotline, they're enjoying themselves on this fine Memorial Day weekend edition of the podcast. I want to thank all of our troops for protecting us each and every day. And we'll remember all those who served our country. So we'll have a State of Marauders hotline next week as we talk about what happened with our lacrosse Marauders. So next up we have the volleyball team as they take on the state tournament. They took on Kearney. Yes, a rematch. The third time this year. The Cardinals and the Marauders will face off in the NJSIA North Jersey Group 3 tournament. Oh boy, this was an epic match from start to finish. The Marauders were start off winning the first set, 27-25. You're thinking, all right, you're in good shape. Then you go into the second set, ladies and gentlemen. And not only did the Marauders start off well, they forced a timeout. I mean, it was 5-0 for the Marauders in the second set after winning the first set. You're thinking you're in business. But then there's too much Kearney. Kearney was just too strong for this team. I mean, it felt like when Michael Shipman was out of the game, The Marauders were not able to respond. Maybe Carney took advantage of the fact that Shipman was not on the court. That could be, but it felt like Shipman was on the bench for about 15 or 16 consecutive points between both sides at one point, and that might have caused the Marauders to lose this game. But again, it was a great season overall for our Marauders. 6-13 was their record. They would lose the match 27-25, 20-25, 21-25. Owen Sanchez, 16 assists, 9 digs, 9 service points, 2 aces. Michael Shipman, again, absolutely dogging this one. 9 kills and 9 digs, 10 service points, an ace, 3 blocks for the senior. John Cases, 9 kills, 14 digs, 3 service points. Kyle Gorham, 19 digs, 2 service points. Alex Lima, 10 digs, 4 service points, 3 kills. And Ryan Ken, 6 service points, 1 ace, 3 digs, and 3 assists. So their season's over. We want to thank all the seniors again on their team, including captains Gian Cases and Owen Sanchez, Dylan Mejia, Jacob Turnigan, Michael Fasciano, Ryan Ken, Jet Frank Cree, Michael Shipman, and Chris Sierra. Again, thank you for our volleyball Marauders. Clap it up one more time for the volleyball team. Again, and the baseball team as well. Thank you, everyone, for their contributions to the program. All right. Track team. Nothing happened this week with track. They're getting ready for 2 events this week. They have the East Brunswick Split Series and the at night at the Horse Farm down at CBA. Both events on Tuesday. So it looks like it'll be a little split action between the team. So stay tuned for all those results on next week's podcast. Also, the crew team. Nope, they did not end up in Stotesbury. I know it said end up in Stotesbury. No. They did not end up in the Stotesbury Cup semifinal. They actually competed this week in the Nationals, in the National Series. And this team probably did not exceed expectation. Maybe they had a big expectation, but they had a tough from the group. They had some of the top teams in the country in their group. So they went down to Florida, took on the Nationals, and here's what happens with the 3 boats, okay? So the 1 V8 boat finished 17th United States, the 2 V8 boat finished 14th United States, and the freshman 8 boat finished 12th in the United States. So, again, great job by a crew team. That'll do it for them as well this year. Great job by crew. I want to thank all the seniors who contributed again to the program, including Dio Josephson, Connor Gallagher, and Henry McCoud. Good luck on your future endeavors out there. If you notice, there's going to be a short episode this week. Not a lot of action as we wind down, heading to the summer months. All right, this is the last week of school for our Marauders as a whole. We got final exams coming up. And then it's going to do it. So the time's ticking again. Playoffs being short this year, as well as starting earlier. So the only team that's going to be competing besides Lacrosse, hopefully they can compete into next week as well, if they could beat St. Joe's, would be Lacrosse, and it's going to be track. That's about it. That's all we're going to be talking about next couple weeks on the podcast. And then we'll talk about our end of year awards, including one instance of the Marauder Play of the Week award, which would be the Play of the Year award. So stay tuned for who we think this year's Marauder Play of the Year award recipients will be. But let's now talk about this week's Marauder Player of the Week award. Who won it? Who won this week's award? Well, we had 5 new candidates once again from last week, including the team of Jeremy Cambridge, Jack Brousseau of tennis, who just got eliminated this week, the Lindsay of track, Lorenzo Camilleri of baseball, Owen Sanchez of volleyball, and Chad Stone of track. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get a drum roll, please. And the winner, with 64% of the votes, he's from the track team, this junior, Del Lindsay. Congratulations to Dell for this accomplishment. And now we have 5 more candidates to reveal this week, including from the tennis team, played well, this freshman, Augustin Harsh. From the baseball team, he pitched impressively against Dwight England, complete game 12K performance. Also had a big RBI triple in that game against Bergen Catholic. His name is the junior, Adrian Rojas. This senior captain from the baseball team, who made a couple great plays, including the clutch home run and the defensive putout against Dwight Englewood, Matt Corwin. This senior from the volleyball team, who made an impact from the get-go, who tried to will his Marauders to victory against Kearney, Michael Shipman, and this crew senior captain, Henry McCall. So make sure you vote on the app for this week's recipients. And again, reminder that voting will end on June 3rd at 11:59 p.m. And you can vote only once on the app, so make sure you vote for who you think should be this week's Marauder Player of the Week. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it. Yes, I told you, short episode. I want to thank you all for tuning in to this week's episode of the podcast. Continue to spread the word by sharing our social media profile at SOT Marauders to everyone you know, and continue to check them out for all of the latest updates. We're going to be back on the docket once again next week. Could be for the final time, potentially, depending on how Lacrosse does, depending on what else we have in track. But it could be the last full regular season episode for the 2022-2023 spring season. So I want to thank you all again for listening. And as always, let's go prep.
Hey, this is Caprice James, Assistant Athletic Trainer, and you're listening to the State of the Marauders podcast, the only podcast that covers St. Peter's Perth athletics.